most of what I do, or that I'm really passionately invested in, is social services. So I have been on the board of the End Hunger Network and the Houston Food Bank, and I just rolled off after 9 years. I'm on the board of Search, and I was board chair from 07 to 09, and I'm going to be board chair again next June and lead a program to build a new building. I'm on the board of KIP, Houston Public Schools. I'm on the board of the American Leadership Forum, and I'm leading an effort to develop a new 5-year strategy for ALF. I also am involved in the Texas Business Hall of Fame Foundation, and I'm involved with both the University of Houston's Graduate School at Boyar Real Estate Program and Tulane University's Dean's Advisory Board. I think that the business community has a responsibility. I was at an End Hunger Network luncheon before I got involved. My wife was involved. She preceded me on the boards. She was a founding board member of End Hunger Network, a founding board member of Search. I went to a luncheon and Scott McClellan spoke. And Scott is one of my very few true heroes. And he said something that just absolutely resonated with me. He basically said, if we can, we must. And I walked out of that luncheon and I said, it's time. So then the opportunity came up for me to actually get involved. And the opportunity came with End Hunger Network. I think that each of us has skills and competencies that we can bring. Mine happen to be in building organizations, bringing people together, attracting talent, setting strategy, raising capital. So I'm not necessarily the guy out on the streets that are taking care of the ultimate consumer of the services, but my skills have been to help shape the organizations that I've been a part of. From my experience of being an entrepreneur, running my own businesses for now 30 years, bringing back together and building teams, putting in systems and processes and structure, developing strategies and tactics, and executing plans. And that's what we do. And that's what I've been able to do. I learned more about the city, the educational component in terms of the history of Houston. I can honestly say I learned a lot. And the networking, people that you meet, just being in that environment, being around people who care, people who are committed to the future of the city. So it becomes a barometer of is the work that I'm doing contributing to the betterment of our community? Which is why I have a tendency to work on education, hunger, and homelessness. Because if you do good work in those 3 domains, it's going to make a difference. And I think the other thing is you just meet a lot of great people who are like-minded, who want to do good things. And it's fun. It's fun. The thing about which I am most proud in this domain of working in the community, and where I think I made the biggest impact, is when I joined the board of Search. The organization was really floundering. I had been to one board meeting when I got a call from the then board chair, Downey Bridgewater, and he asked me for a favor. And when your banker calls, you just say yes. And he asked me to become chairman of the board. I took over in March of 2007. The fiscal year ending June of 2007, the organization ran a deficit of over $1.5 million. There were a lot of reasons why, not very many of them good. And the fiscal year 2008, we actually ran a surplus. So we did a over $1.5 million turnaround in 15 months. And today, Search is a major player in this community fighting the battle to help people break the cycle of homelessness. We have great management, we have a great board, we're well capitalized, we run a surplus or modest surplus every year, we're doing really good work, our CEO is a true leader in this community and thought leader, and I think that 15 months, I was board chair for 27 months, and I think I made a real difference. So I had an opportunity to get involved in the End Hunger Network. It was a time when that organization was at an interesting crossroads of shifting from moms running around with Suburbans, picking up food from restaurants and taking it to feeding sites, to really developing a food recovery and distribution model. And the organization had purchased a property up on I-10, actually I-45 north of the city, and didn't know what to do with it. In the meantime, Jim Mills had begun to develop a program to get fresh protein from HEB and to cook it and freeze it and distribute it. So we got a group together and built a kitchen. And there was a lot of competition between the food bank and the End Hunger Network for donor dollars. People didn't know what's the difference between the two. So we got together with the leadership of the food bank and decided that 1 + 1 equaled more than 2. So we merged. They got the building. They got the events. So the End Hunger Network had done a much better job of staging events and had a much better visibility. Any of the issues that we had, concerns about reduction in funding, because instead of some money to End Hunger and some money to the food bank, were eliminated. And so, immediately after the merger, we raised $55 million at the food bank and bought the Cisco facility and remodeled it, and it's the largest food bank in the country.